Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What is going on? It's your boy, Person, Fat Samurai Guy, hanging out with me in the dojo today. That's right. Actor, stuntman, filmmaker, writer, director. He's done it all. Big Phil. That's what I call him. PHILLIP Tommy. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, bro. How you doing?
Doing great, man. And, I had to get you on here for this one. And I think we've been wanting to do this since last year.
For a while, yeah, good few months.
Yeah, this is going to be a trend. Everybody watching right now, thanks again for chiming in. This is going to be a theme you're going to be here for my next upcoming podcast episodes and reviews. Yeah, we've been wanting to do this since last year, but hey, life happens. And,
life happens, mate. We made it in the end. That's what matters.
This guy over here, this legend over here, he's a busy man. That's right, doing his filmmaking thing. And right now, though, I gotta blow up I gotta blow you up here. Look at this. Look at the shirt. That's right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm making sure everybody watching can see the awesomeness in the background there. Yeah, it got Drive poster. Love it.
Drive.
That's right. One of my favorite movies.
This is my son's favorite TV show. He's dinosaur mad, basically. So
nice.
That's my son's there. I've got Conan the Destroyer. That was the very first R-rated movie I ever saw. And my friend Matthew Luteman's house changed my life. Seeing
wait, can we see that? I never seen that poster artwork before.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, look, we're getting an exclusive, everybody. Look at this. What? That is epic.
Yeah, I think it's German. I think, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
There you go. See it? Right.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I've never seen that. Yeah, I actually have the sword for a pretty accurate replica from Conan the Barbarian, the first one. I have it up over here, but
iconic. Yeah. Iconic,
right?
Yeah, seriously, just such a beautiful movie, And I think it sort of like sparked how many little boys and girls watched that film back in the day and were just inspired,
Yeah,
it was just so amazing, From the first one with James Earl Jones to this, it's just, man.
Yeah, Tulsa Doom. Yeah. I'm sensing a return to the dojo with Big Phil here. I'm sensing another future episode. We're going to be talking about the Conan movies, maybe.
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah. But yeah, I see you got Dragon Ball Z Brawly movie poster in the back. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a massive Dragon Ball fan. I love anime anyway, but but Dragon Ball has a special place in my heart because me and my son love it and we love watching it together.
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know. I think it has so many amazing messages for kids, in terms of like just being a good person, and just, when it comes to the odds and fighting against the odds and just whatever it takes, even when the odds are against you, as corny as it sounds, but it's true, isn't it? This is all of our heroes that we watch, whether it's Alien, look at Ripley, right? What she's up against a xenomorph, or Sarah Connor when she's up against it doesn't matter what it is,
right?
It's like going against the odds and not giving a fuck and being like, you know what? Here's what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever I can do, give all of myself. And I think with Dragon Ball has that in spades, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it will always
training hard. Prepare for
exactly
all that good stuff. Yeah, great messages. But it's got badass fights, which is why we're fans. I mean, that's why that's the 2 thumbs up for the fight. Yeah, I enjoyed Brawly in the theater when that
amazing.
Came out. Yeah, that was
amazing. And for me, like normally with anime, I love watching the subbed, but Dragon Ball is one of the only ones that I love watching the dubbed version because Sean Schemmel and he plays Goku and I think it's Chris Sabat for Vegeta. They're so amazing what they do, and it really comes through in that. Apart from that, anything else, I prefer the original language, Japanese, Korean, whatever it is. But Dragon Ball, one of those special ones where the sub,
they actually, amazing, they actually care.
Yeah, yeah. Although, have you seen? Have you heard of an anime called Solo Leveling?
No, what's that one?
Oh, bro, it's amazing, man. And the American voice actor is a guy called Alec Lee, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So I'll forward you a link. And
yeah,
he's amazing. He's amazing.
I gotta catch up. Behind on all the anime stuff. But I got Big Phil here. He will direct me and guide me. But we're not just fans of action movies and martial arts and anime. We love us some horror movies, baby. That's right. And today is a special one. We're going to be talking about The Divine Fury. It came out in 2019, and I apologize up front for botching all of the names. I'm going to botch them. Directed by Kim Joo-hwan. There we go. And we'll leave it at that. I love, you gotta love IMDb's plot synopsises here. An MMA fighter helps an exorcist fight evil. That's it.
It's true, I guess. It's accurate, I guess.
I think it's a little bit more than that, but I always love reading the IMDb plot synopsis. They always make me laugh. But yeah, before we get into the horror here, again, thanks everybody for watching. But this man has he's again, like I said earlier, he's done it all. Stuntman in so many projects: Witcher, season 3, Fast X, Luther, and of course, shout out to our boy Daniel Stisson. That's right.
Yes, big Dan the legend. Yeah,
you gotta say it like this. The motherfucking Viking. Yeah, that badass. Loved your fight with him in The Siege. That's right.
Dan for me is like, he knows this, but he's something else. That guy is, just his sheer will to get done. He's amazing. Seriously, he's one of the most motivational people. When you sit down and talk with him, I got a lot of time for Dan. A lot of time. Yeah, it's a good guy.
But The Siege, I really enjoyed that action movie, and I had fun talking to Daniel last year. And again, your fight with him was brutal, man. Knocking each other through walls, picking up hammers, hitting each other. I was like, that's right.
Oh,
that's
man,
right.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So,
but you know what? A quick story there, Preston.
Sure.
So
we got time, baby.
On The Siege. So many moons ago, Dan was an extra on a show called The Hollow Crown.
Okay.
And he couldn't afford to get a hotel room for the night. He had to like basically camp out at night, camp outside of the set, really early hours. And I was living in my car at the moment. I was going for some stuff in my car. Yeah. And we were both talking to each other on the phone. We were laughing. It was like, this is so crazy. So when we're on The Siege and Dan's there, and it's like, it's his film.
Yeah.
It was like a complete 360. And we're like, you know what? It was like one of those sort of like life-affirming moments where it's like, as long as you just fucking keep on going, no matter how shit things are. Right. Going back to Dragon Ball was the same thing, right? You know what I mean? And it's like, it was such an amazing, for me, that's why it was there in Brad Watson. But it was such an amazing experience for that alone. It's been like, wow, years ago, it was like this now, and then, so it was a very special film for that reason alone,
Right. Yeah. How awesome is that? Yeah, that's awesome. Nice. Great story. And yeah, Daniel, when you look at the guy, he's so he's intimidating to look at. Like you don't want to mess with him. I don't I think you should avoid messing with the guy. But when you get a chance to sit down and talk with him, he's really humble.
He's great. He really is.
He's really humble.
But he's a great person. He really is.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what he does next. And hopefully you guys collab again in the future too, man. Because
we are.
Oh, sweet. Nice. We'll have to talk about that off the air.
We will.
Get you back on that. But back to action horror here. Before we get into Divine Fury, what's some of your favorite horror movies or action horror movies? Do you have any favorites?
Favorite horror? I think John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness is always up there.
Yes.
Michael Mann, The Keep. That film blew my fucking mind, right? Even though Michael Mann hates it apparently, but
right.
I thought it was amazing. Tangerine Dream soundtrack.
Atmosphere.
Obviously, it was always a great one.
Which one was that?
Hellraiser.
Oh yeah.
Hellraiser. Bram Stoker's Dracula. I love that. The Crow, although The Crow's like a love story, really, isn't it? But it's just anything. I mean, there are so many up there. There are so many. And again, being from the UK, the whole Hammer horror thing, that's like The Devil Rides Out, and seeing Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing and all these guys from back in the day. There's such a rich history of horror from the UK. But then when you look abroad, a friend of mine, well, a guy I worked with on Gangs of London, Xavier Jean, he made Frontiers, and I love French horror films, right? So Inside, Switchblade Romance, Martyrs.
Woo! Martyrs, man.
Martyrs, and then you got Wreck, and
Yeah.
there's just an endless amount of amazing horror. How about you? What are you into?
The Martyrs remake is I think even better than the original.
Really? I didn't.
I'm just kidding.
I never saw it because the
I'm
first
just
one was
kidding.
so impactful.
I just want to see his expression to see if he gets. He's like, what? No, the remake of the Martyrs is really bad. Unfortunately, they missed the whole point.
Right,
Phil. Oh, there's so many. I mean, I got They Live Here shirt. Speaking of John Carpenter, I'm so happy you said Prince of Darkness because that is such an underrated movie in my opinion. An underrated John Carpenter movie too.
Yeah.
In the Mouth of Madness is another underrated John Carpenter movie, I believe. Yeah.
He's a beast, an absolute beast, man. Composer, he does it all, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Many moons ago, I used to work at the cinema called the Mockingbird Cinema in Birmingham. It's an amazing independent cinema, and they had like a horror festival there, and they played Prince of Darkness, and it was so eerie, and you could see that all the audience still felt it. All these decades later, they still fucking feel that thing, that is just that ultimate creep factor that goes through it all,
The impending doom feeling.
Yeah,
right?
Man. It's like a heavy fog, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna have to get Phil back on here and just talk horror in general. That's it, all day, just horror movies.
Yeah.
But again, I can't forget about this. But we have a little special clip here, a little teaser, a little taste of your upcoming project, Lotus. You want to tell us a little bit about that before I hit that play button there?
Yeah, Lotus. Yeah, so it's filmed in my home city of Birmingham, and I kind of like all of my scripts. They come from dreams. I was dreaming and wake up and oh my god, I got fucking right. And this is one that really hit home, and it was just about so the lotus in general, the flower, the lotus, it grows in an environment that most flowers can't, and that really sort of represents a lot of people I know, and also the guy's character and his trajectory in the story as well. He kind of like managed to evolve from the environment that most people couldn't, and along the way he has a lot of trials and tribulations, but comes out on top after killing all the bad guys. Which is kind of what it's about. But for me, I love action movies, but I want substance from action movies, right? I don't want it to be fights for what's the fucking point? So for me, it was my aim to make a film that had a lot of heart to it.
Okay.
And but also had a lot of fighting. And I'm so blessed. I've got a lot of friends who are like some great stunt performers in the UK. And a lot of them have just agreed to come on and help me, and I'm grateful for them. And then when it comes to got a great cast, great crew, my friend Gary Rogers, a sick DOP. So there's just a lot of people coming together to make this thing happen, and there's such a nice energy behind it. So yeah.
All right. Well, before we show everybody a little taste of this, speaking of fellow stuntmen from the UK, what? You got Colin here. Colin Squire saying, hi, guys. I can't wait to see Kin at the Forbidden World Festival next month.
Yeah, Kin was great, yeah.
It looks great, yeah. Shout out to Colin there. Thanks for watching, man.
Hey, Colin.
All right. Let's see. Let's check out Lotus. Here we go, baby.
Can I call you Rose? Cause you're sweet like a flower.
You're all fucking dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like that. You're all fucking dead. I'm sold.
Fucking dead.
I gotta watch it now. I like that song too, man. I was grooving with that song. I was like, yeah.
It's the hardest part, I think, is finding the right piece of music.
Yeah.
But when you find it, you just feels right. You're like, yes, this is it. But it takes a long time. But when you get it, when you find it, you're you really know.
That looks great, brother. Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
I am intrigued. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll send you a lot of updates as we're going along, mate, and I'll let you know.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm excited for Lotus. I am intrigued. I'm telling you, anything this guy does is gold. I'm always there. I mean, look at the guns. Let's see the gun show there. Look at this. Look at it. Oh my god.
No. This army here is actually injured.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I tore my bicep years ago. So
you have an alien in there? is that adamantium? What is going on there, man? That is ridiculous.
No, I was
vibranium in there.
I need it, man. I tell you, I need it.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, if they ever do another live action version of Bishop, we need you to play Bishop, son.
Funnily enough, there are two amazing filmmakers from the UK, George Kirby and Harry Kirby. They directed Scott Adkins' Accident Man 2, yeah?
Yeah.
And they cast me as Bishop in one of their early short films. I'll forward it to you later on.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Wow.
Into existence.
Wow.
However, for me, my ideal character to play would be Adam Brashear, Blue Marvel from, he's such an amazing character.
Yeah,
his whole backstory is so nuanced. It's an amazing character, and I think it was Kevin. Who was the guy that wrote Underworld? Big black guy, plays a big werewolf, but he's an amazing comic book writer.
Oh, Kevin. I know you.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm sure it's his character, and he's an amazing writer, isn't he? Anyway, so that'll be my other one. But Bishop, I would gladly take as well.
That is hilarious that just happened right now.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you should play Bishop. I already did. But yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah.
And Colin said he loved the trailer for Lotus. He said, yes, it looks great. He's excited for it.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah. But now we're having too much fun here, man. That's what it's all about. Now let's segue back to the Divine Fury here. And when did you see this when it came out in theater, or you caught it like me later on Blu-ray?
You know what? I have no idea how I came across it. I'm not sure if I was just searching Korean horror movies. I don't know, but it came to my attention somehow.
Yeah,
it just blew me away.
Yeah. Now, see, here's the thing. I didn't know. I believe the almighty Well Go USA released the film on Blu-ray. Shout out to them. But I didn't know. I thought this was just an exorcism type movie. I didn't really know what it was. So when the action happened in the third act to the finale, I was like, whoa, like I wasn't expecting any of that. Right now, do you think if people were expecting a nonstop action thrill ride, do you think they would be a little disappointed in the film a little bit?
Possibly, but I think it depends on what their on what other genres that they actually love. If you're into action, like for me, I love action. Well, I love anything, to be fair, but when there's no action, I'm still invested because the horror elements are done so well. Yeah, it's like as good as any horror film that you've seen. I would easily, it is that amazing,
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I didn't know what I was getting into. I was like, oh, maybe some Exorcist horror film, or I'm sitting down and watching it, and then again when the action happens, which we'll get to a little bit later, really unexpected. But yeah, you have the opening. You have a single father and his little son. Yeah. And he's a cop, and he goes out one night and unfortunately runs into some demonic possessed asshole young people, young adults, and unfortunately gets ran over in the beginning. And then we have his father was a religious man, and his son was brought up in that world, and the son went to go pray, and he meets up with this priest. Quick spoiler warning for everybody watching right now. But the priest sits down with him and he says, hey, if you pray hard enough, if you want it hard enough, God will listen and he will help your father. So while the father is literally dying slowly in the hospital at night, the son is praying his little heart out, and then in the morning, the father doesn't make it. It's heartbreaking, right? He just
it is
make it. And then we go fast forward a little bit to the funeral, and that same priest shows up to pay his respects. And I haven't found a bad Korean child actor yet. Do they exist?
Oh,
I haven't found one like, ooh, oh no, this
no,
is bad.
no,
It hasn't happened yet.
no.
And so, yeah, go ahead.
Now, again, I'm sure we'll talk about it later on, but
Yeah,
the kid who appears later on
right.
is just
Yeah, like convincing.
bro.
Oh, and earlier, it's funny you were mentioning the Kirby brothers because I had Sarah Chang on the show yesterday. We were hanging out with talking about Accident Man. But yeah, oh, we got another legend here. Leroy Kincaid is here. What's up, brother? Yeah,
Hey, Leroy.
good to see you, man. I had a blast talking to that legend.
Yeah, Leroy's
But
good
yeah,
guy. Good guy.
yeah, it was a powerful scene because the kid immediately goes blood red rage.
Yeah.
Walks over, grabs a crucifix, and just chucks it right in the priest's head.
Yeah.
And it's like, you lied.
Lied.
I mean, what a scene.
You know, it reminded me of, you remember that scene in Bram Stoker's Dracula when Vlad comes back from.
Oh, yeah.
And his missus is dead, right? His wife's dead, and he gets the sword and he stabs it into the cross, and he's like, "I renounce you." That fucking seems amazing, right?
Dude.
But it reminded me of that raw emotion.
Yeah.
That loss, you know.
Yeah.
And you really felt it from that, again, like you say, from someone so young, that he managed to emote something from God knows where, but you feel it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. Like, just such a powerful scene. And you feel it. You can understand. He feels betrayed. He feels lied to. Yeah. Everything he was taught to believe has just been flipped upside down.
Yeah.
And then we get a scene to where he feels his father is coming to visit him, like his spirit, right? And then, did you notice it odd when they touched hands? Did you notice that was like, well, that was kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then I have a little photo here at the top there. You know, he touches his son's hands and it's glowing red.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I'll always be with you."
Always
right? And I was just like, something's not right there. Something's a little weird. Something's a little weird. Fast forward I think it's 20 years later or something like that.
About that.
He served into the Marines. His instructor in the Marines, I believe, got him into MMA. He started boxing as a kid, and then he's this big MMA star. And I thought it was interesting. You know, he is in the octagon, and his opponent turns around, and he has a crucifix tattoo on his back. And that's it, blood red rage.
Yeah.
And his eyes start turning red a little bit, but he hears that voice, which sounds like him when he was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, he hears that voice like, liar, kill him.
Kill him.
You know, yeah. And he, man, what was that? One punch knockout right in the beginning.
Brutal.
And then he just kept going. And the ref had to, it was crazy. Yeah.
Yank him off. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, obviously, he still has that hatred, for God,
Yeah.
But again, going back to what you're saying earlier, how effective this is as a horror movie as well. This has got to be one of the most creepiest scenes ever, because every time he goes to sleep at night, he wakes up with his hand bleeding.
Yeah.
And he's all, drenched with sweat.
Yeah.
But this scene, when they show what's actually happening to him at night. Every night, man, I was like, "Oh, this is some good old fashioned nightmare fuel." I mean, the top picture there when the entity slowly, because I thought it was a small person walking, or I don't know, it was a creature. I don't know what was going on, and then it slowly got taller, like that, and no music, no sound. No stupid 5 billion jump scares or jump scare noises or sound effects that we see a lot of, probably a little too much of in mainstream horror. You know what I mean? And it was so effective. You're just like, oh God, this is creepy. And then you see what gets on top of him, and it's basically sucking him and bleeding him dry every night.
And here's the thing, though. I think everyone's experienced sleep paralysis at some point, right? And that has never been shown, I don't think, as effectively as it was in that, like you say. And I think some of the worst horror is still it's not like this big and it's quickly, you know, it's like slowly creeping level of like, I don't know what you'd call it, fear that you can't escape from because he can't move. He's just stuck. And you know, it was so well done.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite parts of the film.
Yeah, it's horrible.
But it was just kind of like when I first saw this, I was like, oh, this is some creepy shit, and I'm loving it.
Tell you what, that one shot there as well is very similar to a shot in Prince of Darkness. Do you know when you see the devil standing in the doorway and there's that like radio signal going off all the time?
Oh,
that's like that.
Dude! Oh my god!
That was inspired by that somehow, you know.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah,
no.
I mean that when I first saw that shot, it was like video cam footage, and it's like something standing there. You know what it is? I was like, "What the hell is?"
Oh man,
more glorious nightmare fuel. But hey, when it's done well, like you said, it's effective. You know.
Yeah.
And so at this point, our main character, the child, all grown up here, Young Hoo, or Hoo Young. Is it Hoo Young? Is that how you say it?
I've got down. Yeah.
Okay, Hoo Young.
I've got Young Hoo.
Okay, Young Hoo.
Yeah.
He keeps going to all these doctors, and they're just like, dude, you're not infected with anything. There's no bacteria. You know, I can, suggest you go see this more expensive, bigger hospital, but they're going to tell you the same thing. And so he's just fed up. He doesn't know what to do. And go ahead and talk about what happens next.
Well, I mean, from there, it kind of like there's always that level of like what is truly going on, because again, he's been told he's got this clean bill of health and everything else, and you can see it. You know, he's a fit guy, but there's just this. It's just always building steadily, right? And this is when we first see what's his name, the priest, Father An, right?
Yes, Father. Yeah, you're right, Father An.
Father An, and it's the first real nod to religion that you've seen it's shown in a very different light. Because obviously, when he was a kid, it was all just like, fuck, you ruined my life. But then there's this guy, and you can just tell he's got that face, hasn't he, where he seems like a nice guy, right?
Yeah.
But what he is encountering is just it's
like, oh, you do that for a living. Oh
my god.
Good, props to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go this way. You do you.
Oh my god. And you know what? And in this scene, so this priest is basically trying to deal with this demon.
Right.
And
the
first of all, this is the first scene that really not only the set design, but also the rigging. Like, this guy is climbing up the wall backwards. He's jumping. Unbelievable.
Like, crazy, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
I mean, it gets intense because he breaks out of the man possessed breaks out of the chair, and the assistant. What was his name? Father Choi.
Right.
I was busting up laughing because Father Choi fucked off.
Yeah.
It just ran out. I was laughing my ass off. But to rewind a little bit earlier, back to Young, he is desperate and goes to see the shaman. This girl who could see.
The girl, that was amazing as well. She was amazing, wasn't she?
Yeah,
because this girl here, she had like her parents were visited, weren't they? And they were like, you need to basically have a certain belief structure within 10 days, otherwise, she's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah,
they didn't believe it, and then 10 days later, she's blind. But what she can see, she can see spirits basically.
Yeah,
and she can see that other side. In the same way that in the Matrix, you can see like the outside of that person.
Right.
And she looks at our main guy and she's like, man, you're surrounded. You are just he is surrounded by this darkness, isn't he? It's all around him. But then what you can see there in the middle of his chest, that one bit of a light there.
Yeah.
And that was something that was like, one of his father's a gift.
Yes.
Father, that kind of comes back. But that scene was amazing.
Yeah.
And again, just quickly to go off topic slightly, but if anyone out there has watched Jujutsu Kaisen, the movie, there's this scene where one of the main characters, a guy called Yuta, he steps into this school. It's like a school for sorcerers, and he steps in, and there's this like boom, and all of the students feel that there's this darkness around him, and this was that kind of scene. You know, it's like it's just dripping, just dripping off him. You know?
Yeah, look at this.
Oh, it's insane. Insane.
I was busting up though, because after she saw this, she was like, "Oh, you're screwed."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, well, you're fucked."
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed this character. I mean, she became a shaman herself after she had the ability to see spirits. She became a shaman, but I was hoping we'd segue back to her later.
Yeah.
But great scene though, great scene,
amazing scene. So well,
but after this, he's like, "All right, you know, she's the one that recommends him to go see Father On."
Oh, but yeah.
And when things get sticky, that's when he shows up and kind of helps Father. And I love his face expression, Young, because when he walks up and just straight punches the demon, like, and then he's just like looking at him. Yeah, he's like looking at him. He's like, "Did this dude just, you know, crawl up backwards and flip up to the top? Like, what the hell is going on?" You know, even the demon looked confused. Even the demon was like, "Did I just get punched in the chest?"
Yeah, but you know what? I think that sort of like tells though that he's always, even though he may not have known what's around him, he, you know, in some way deep down inside him, he knew that there's, you know, that there's more going on because he's not phased at all, is he? Like you say, he sees him, smashes him in the face, and then there's literally no fear in him at all, is there? You know, he's like,
He's more like interested, like confused a little bit, like
yeah.
Meanwhile, Father Choi is down the street, you know, getting something to eat at this point. But yeah, great scene here. Nice. Little action sequence and some stunt work, very well done. Makeup effects are great. But then, you know, we find out that he has stigmata. That's why his hand was bleeding, and he touches the demonic man and takes him out, and not knowing he didn't do it on purpose. He just kind of held them there, and then he was burning them, right? And I thought it was very interesting because he goes, especially the dialogue, their relationship, they had great chemistry, Father Ong and Young.
Yeah, big time.
And I love the dialogue when it's like this movie nails the little small quiet moments, you know, but with the dialogue back and forth between characters, but he's like, you know, Father Ong's like, you know, this is a phenomenon, the stigmata. It's for, you know, people that are, you know, true believers and all that stuff. And he was like, well, I don't believe in God, so why do I have this? And he goes, well, actually, your hatred for him over the years proves otherwise.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I see what you did there, movie.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
It is.
Yeah, so he works with him, and they kind of end up building some kind of relationship. He kind of becomes a surrogate father, but not, on purpose. Not of his like, I have to be his dad now. It just kind of happened organically.
Yeah, but also I think it also kind of gives our lead like some kind of guidance that he maybe has never had. You know, obviously he's around him that are getting, you know, his MMA managers and whatnot, but like you say, it's a very different dynamic with him and that father, you know, very different.
When his relationship with him grows, I like how he says, you know, I don't believe in God, but I believe in you.
Yeah,
you know, that was a great scene.
Beautiful.
But you know, he's really skeptical of him at first, obviously for obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
But once this scene happens, this scene was wild, man. Well, this was like, okay, there's something else going on here.
Oh, mate, and so well paced, because you know what? It's like, again, spoiler alert, but you know, is what it is. But you know, she is possessed, but you don't really know it. You're kind of thinking, is she? Because they're trying all of these different incantations and nothing's working. So they're like, you know, she can't be. But then the father takes him outside. He's like, whatever's in there is buried deep, you know. So pour the holy water inside of her, and then it comes out, and it's just but it's not rushed at all, is it? You know,
no. For a second, I thought the mother was possessed.
The mom, I thought that. Yeah, I thought it was the mother.
I was like, we're doing a little switcheroo here,
Yeah.
But when they finally get the beast out,
Wow.
some great wire work and effects with him. He tries to hold her down, and then she launches both of them up to the ceiling, and then the camera turns like this.
Amazing.
Great stuff. And then she leans, she looks in his eyes, and then the demon leans over in his ear and goes, I was the one that possessed the people that killed your dad, killed your father. Yeah. And I was like, what? You gotta love demons when they talking shit.
Yeah.
you gotta love it. It's just, they're just talking shit. Like, yeah, we killed your dad. And what? What are you gonna do about it?
You gotta do about it, yeah.
Yeah. And then he goes blood rage and starts grounding and pounding her. But Father Ung had to pull him off because he was gonna kill the girl. And they're there to get the demon, and they finally get the demon out. But then we're introduced, I believe, to what do they call them? The dark bishop. Yeah, the dark bishop, man. We get introduced to that character, and what a character!
What a character, but also, I mean, what an actor! Because he's in Bloodhounds, isn't he, as well, right?
Yes,
that Korean boxing drama.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Do-Hwan. And again, I apologize for botching all the names. He plays Ji-sin.
Teasing, yeah, so good.
Yeah, he was just really just loved being evil, praying and sacrificing to that serpent. And his whole thing was to sacrifice pure souls.
Yeah,
to send it to the evil serpent. We got Nina. What's going on, brother? All the way from Germany. Good to see you, brother. Hey, Horror Fields. What's going on? Good to see you.
Hey.
Great scene. It's almost like the movie did a great, again, you said pacing, right? The movie did a great job of every exorcism scene tops the one before.
Yeah.
It just gets crazier and crazier, especially when we get to
it was like a fighting game, where you have like a level boss, and then you get that's level, and you keep all the stakes keep raising,
Yeah. So after they heal the girl, they're trying to get information about her and where did you meet this guy? And she's just kind of hesitant. She doesn't really want to say where she met the Dark Bishop, which
really me. I was like, he's just being you see what he's done to you, right?
Right.
The free.
And he still tried to get her.
That was insane, wasn't it?
Dude, yeah. They're sitting down. Yeah, they're sitting down talking to her, and all of a sudden her nose starts bleeding, and she's like getting stabbed in the head. Well, he's trying to, Bishop's trying to take her out still, crazy. But Father Ong puts the Dark Bishop in his place.
Yeah.
Like, you need to get out of here, son.
Yeah.
Great stuff. What a great actor, that guy.
Oh,
such amazing. A kind face.
He reminded me of Beat Kateshi Kitano. There was something in that. There's something that he has. Obviously, he plays tough characters, but there's something in him that is really sort of like pleasant.
Yeah, warm.
And he had it in spades as well. Yeah.
I want to hang out and sit with him and have a beer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
I enjoyed that scene too. Another little quiet moment between both leads. He's drinking beers. Like, you guys can drink. He's like, yeah, we can drink and smoke, responsibly.
Yeah.
But he's like, hey, you gonna give me another prayer? Because he ended up returning what the father left for him.
Yeah.
To kind of help him sleep.
Yeah.
And keep the demons away. And he tried to return it because he's like, get this crap out of here. And he's trying to. Of course, they came back again. And he's like, hey, can you pray? Can you do one of those prayers that kind of keep the demons away? And he's like, I can't. I'm drunk. He's like, I'm drinking, or I've been drinking. I can't do any prayers right now. Sorry. But yeah, he's really cool. He's really
cool. He is.
But the Dark Bishop, man, he will not be deterred. And you got to talk about this scene right here, man. Can you see it?
Is that his also, is it?
Yeah, this is at the orphanage, and he meets the kid outside, and this shadow silhouette of the demon behind him was so good.
It was horrible. This scene was so the whole orphanage the whole orphanage. This little boy, he's being bullied, isn't he? Right, and there's little shits that have been making his kid's life hell. And a dark bishop turns up and offers him some kind of salvation, with no strings attached, obviously, and it goes downhill fast. But everything about that orphanage was just horrible, because even the it alludes to the nuns who are running it. They're wrong ones too, right? A few of them aren't quite. They're not good people, And it shows that there's this kid who's just been tortured. His life's already bad enough as it is, and he's being tortured, and there's no salvation, right? So when somebody offers him something, he fucking takes it. And it's interesting because again, off subject slightly, but if you look at some kids who get may get into gangs and this kind of thing, right? And people can't understand why. And it's like, well, if you've been raised and you've never been told that you're loved, you've never been told that you're good at something, and then somebody comes around giving you something that you perceive as love because you have no idea what the fuck love is. So this feels different. So I'm gonna, that's how it happens, And it was very reminiscent of that for me,
Well said. But the visuals of him coming up from the steps, and when he lights up there, you see it for a split second, a couple of seconds, the demonic silhouette behind him, and then it goes away. And he's smiling and he's so inviting, and he's like, "Look, I'll take care of you, just open up yourself to me." And he grabs his hand, and poor kid, he not only does he possess the kid, but he possesses him with 666 demons.
I
was like, Jesus, it's bad enough. You got to deal with one. And they call themselves, we are Legion. What a crazy scene. And this is probably the most intense scene, exorcism scene in the movie. Again, like you were saying earlier, the child actor nailed it. Just convincing.
He was a mate. I haven't seen many performances like that. Maybe obviously The Exorcist, but I don't know if you've seen The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Great movie.
Great movie and a great performance in there, but this was so primal and unhinged. And to come from a kid. I don't know how he did what he did, but it was truly incredible, right? Wasn't it? It was so creepy.
And it was such a crazy scene because leading up to it though, we have our G I'm just calling him Sin. Sin. Dark Bishop Sin poses as Father Choi. And he shows up to Young, and he's like, "Look, man, I have Stigmata too. Father Ong, he's using you. He's the demon. He's gonna try to call you for help. Just ignore it. I'm out of here." And of course, Father Ong, he gets the call to help this kid, and he calls Young if he wants to join him, and Young just leaves the phone there and doesn't answer. I thought it was also interesting that the manager, his MMA manager, shows up and or promoter, and he's possessed, and he's like, "Look, we got this big deal. There's going to be this new MMA company forming in China, and it's going to be $1 billion, just like UFC, and you're going to be the main event. Are you interested?" Just distraction after distraction after distraction. And a lady came by to serve them drinks, and he saw that her bracelet had a crucifix. And for the first time, he even mentions it later to Father Ong that every time he sees that crucifix, it just fills him with rage and hate. He said this was the first time it didn't make him feel that way. And after he saw that, he got up, walked away. He's like, "I'm not interested." And then shows up. But at this point, Father Ong is beat to a pulp. The nuns are knocked out. I think there's only one nun left. That she was awesome.
She's exhausted, isn't he? You can see he's drained.
Who knows how many demons he got rid of by then? I mean, and just getting rid of one, you're already wiped out. What his character shows. And beaten to a pulp. And Young shows up, and he's like, "All right, here we go. This is different." And some great stunt work there too. Not just the performances, but when he throws the kid off of him to the wall, into the wall, and the kid just Spider-Mans that shit and turns around and then crawls around the wall and jumps on him again. There's some great stuff.
It's amazing. But you know what, Preston? I love this scene for so many reasons, right? Because you know, like in a lot of horror films, right, where there'll be someone's dad, and like dad gets possessed, right? And his face is all fucked up, and he's like green shit coming out of him, and he's trying to kill somebody, and they'll lock him out of the room, right? And he'll be like, "Let me in," or whatever, right?
Right.
And then like he'll change and be like, "Hey, let me in, son. It's me." And they're like, "Oh, it was my dad again." It's like, bro, I was trying to kill you a minute ago. Yeah. In this, he comes and just yeets him across the room. Yeet! Like, this is not a little kid. Yeah. This is some crazy shit that I'm dealing with. I'm like, and this was what I think is great about the whole film, is that there's like a sense of there's like a kind of like level of common sense that runs through it. Yeah. And even though it's fantastical, you know, it's like, yeah, this kid, this whatever. Well, this is not a kid. Whatever it is, it's Legion at this point. Yeah.
Great sequence. Definitely one of the best scenes in the movie for sure. Yeah. But he does the Stigmata palm attack. Yeah. And gets rid of all the demons. And just when you thought it was safe, just when you thought it was cozy and everything is fine, and the little boy is saved, and the orphans run over there and they hug Young. Yeah. He saved us! Yay! The Dark Bishop's like, fuck all this noise. Fuck them kids. That's what the Dark Bishop said.
Yeah, he's a beast.
All right. And we're not done. I got to deliver. Hey, serpent, the serpent demon over here, the sacred serpent. He needs more pure souls, man. I'm not done. And did you see what came next? Did you have a feeling it wasn't over, or you were shocked like I was?
No, yeah, I was. I thought it was done because it was already quite a lengthy scene. I'm like, okay, because also, you know, Young Hoo, he kind of like uses the holy water himself. So like, okay, so it's done. But obviously it wasn't.
Yeah, he's been upgrading his attacks. He'll have the Stigmata palm and he'll pull the holy water on it. Yeah, he's been combining powers. Yeah. But yeah, what came next, man? The Dark Bishop's like possesses a dog. And the dog goes hunting and takes out the kid, man. I was like, damn. Yeah. And crazy scene. Crazy. Poor kid. Still didn't make it.
That's the thing, man. You do just feel for him, man, you know, because you just know his very short existence has been just hell on earth, you know?
Yeah. And you know, they kind of take the bait, you know, they get word. Yeah, that the kid is dead, and Fanong and Young show up, and it was all a trap. Yeah, and he basically forces him to. He tries to get him to renounce God, and Father On's like, he doesn't want Young to do that, and Father On grabs the bone and puts it in his neck, and slowly starts to die off and deteriorate, and and then it gets crazy after that, and then we get to our. He's asking, is this movie available in Germany? I'm sure it should be available. I mean, it's on, you can watch it on the Hayao channel, but I don't know if you get Hayao out there, but I mean, it's on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Yeah, so I think
it should be out
VPN. There. If you get a VPN, you might be able to find it somewhere on Amazon, whatever, or
right. But now it's time to upgrade. And it's time to get to our final showdown, aka my favorite line from what you call it, damn it. Oh, I'm so fired right now. You know what? I gotta do it justice. Hold on. Oh my goodness. How do I forget one of my favorite movies? This just sucks about getting old. Hold on. It's a Peter Jackson movie. God damn it! Hold on. It's one of his best horror films, and my mind is blanking on it. There we go. Brain Dead, aka Dead Alive. One of my favorite scenes in that movie. I kick ass for the Lord. Yeah, and he starts busting. Yeah, he starts busting.
A priest.
The priest starts doing Taekwondo kicks.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I heard of. or went through my head when we get to the finale here. As he suits up, Father Choi shows up.
Yeah.
And gives him the suit, and it's like his armor, and he gets everything. And he goes out there. He's like, leave it to me. He tells Father On, leave it to me. I'm gonna take this dude out. Yeah. And again, not expecting this to be an action movie, I was pleasantly surprised. Every little fight and the end finale fight was all a bonus to me. I was like, I wasn't expecting this. And we get a nice little. He finds out from the girl that was possessed earlier that she met the Dark Bishop at a club,
Babylon.
This club, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah,
the demon has a club, folks.
Yeah,
he's got a club, and he's got. You find out a little bit towards the end too that some of the workers there are part of the cult as well. Yeah, and he kind of enhances them too.
Yeah,
Dark Bishop does. He gives them powers. But yeah, let's talk about the action. As soon as he rolls up at the end, there, Phil, go for it.
Yeah, so good. I mean, first of all, the set design from the very first time he walks into the actual club, it was like a Nicholas Winding Refn movie, right?
Yeah.
And to be fair, the soundtrack, because the soundtrack's amazing, it had that really sort of like synth-wavy vibe going on at the same time. But the fighting was just great. It's like maybe like a 5-on-1 or a 6-on-1 fight scene.
All one take. It was like a one take fight. It was really well done.
Yeah, really well done. But he realizes that he can't beat him through just, he can't just, he needs more, right? He needs to, so he gets the holy water, pours it onto his stigmata, and then just does them all in. They get into his corridor, and he's, exercising them all as he goes through.
That was great.
The Dark Bishop's in the back watching, and then he's like, I've got to get out of here. But it was an amazing, again, hats off to not just the whole stunt team, but the riggers. Some of the way that these guys are dodging some of his attacks is so well done,
Yeah, well said. I mean,
the work was amazing. It's just the whole thing was just from a technical standpoint, it was just
cinematography was beautiful. It was gorgeous.
Yeah,
but we again, like you were saying, we have this kind of one take fight, and fight. Look at him up there. I just noticed him at the top there.
Yeah,
I just noticed him watching the final boss.
Yeah,
watching. And then then we get the corridor hallway fight here. Good stuff. Really, really great stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
And then talk about what happens with the final boss. He freaks out, he panics, and what does he do next, Phil?
Yeah, he has to level up himself, doesn't he? And he calls upon all of his dark, mysterious friends in low places, and basically turns into this like, well, he's just a kind of like a super demon, isn't he? He reminded me of the Shape of Water, that fish god. He had that sort of like same kind of vibe with his body. He's just massive and just
like Dagon or Cthulhu like creature.
Yeah, man.
Right.
He's just disgusting.
Yeah.
And this is like the true, like, there's a club and then there's just different levels, right? And then where he is, he's got this big altar and these big pools where he does all these dark shit, and he just transforms into this thing.
Yeah, and I think he's talking to the sacred serpent. You know who that is, and he's like, "What do I do?" And you see the red light glowing in the water, basically telling him what to do. He's like, "Oh, I gotta kill myself."
Yeah.
To enhance, and he stabs himself, and then that's what he makes his own sacrifice, and then he gets the powers.
He metamorphosed, He changed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And man, we get a really good fight, and our boy gets his ass kicked, and then he sees, while he's temporarily knocked out, he sees his father come back, and father gives him some great advice, great dialogue, and says, "I'll always be there for you." But this time around, when they touch, it's not red, it's white. So this was really the father's spirit,
exactly,
not the demon posing as him. And then that's it. He just goes straight Iron Fist and let the final throw down round two. Let round two continue, man. Let's go. Yeah.
This was an amazing second part of the fight with this one. The choreography was so well done.
Yeah.
And also, you could see that it was the actors. Like, a lot of the time, it was the actors. I'm sure they had stunt doubles as well, but they did so much of their own stuff, and it's impressive to watch.
Yeah, I mean, and again, me going in not really expecting an action movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this is such a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
And great visuals, and when I see stuff like this, it just makes me hate Iron Fist season 1 even more. I don't hate the stunt people that made that were a part of that, or the martial artists, but I mean, when you see scenes like this, you're just like, oh, will somebody please, for the love of God, please do Iron Fist right.
Yeah.
Please, somebody. Tommy, Philip, please. Make it happen.
The thing is, mate, I think when it comes to like any kind of production, right, you just know that there's somebody who doesn't really care about the IP, and he's saying, I don't give a fuck what ideas you've got to do this. There's a documentary called The Death of Superman Lives, and it was Tim Burton's attempt at making a Superman movie.
Oh, yeah, I saw some of that. Yeah.
Amazing. And there's one producer who's basically saying, I want Superman to have polar bear bodyguards and this and that, and blah, blah. I want a big mechanical spider coming in there.
Yeah.
And Tim Burton walks, right? But those kind of people have always been there. You can just tell, especially when you get something like a big Marvel movie. You can just imagine that there's some guy saying, I don't care about the fans. I don't care about what the loyal readership wants. I want this, and you have to do it, So I mean, that was
not their fault, but it's just sad,
Yes, it must be so. And I do feel for the for the stunt coordinators and the stunt guys, because they spend so much time crafting amazing fight scenes, and then to see them butchered, it must be so horrible,
Yeah. But thankfully, this fight wasn't butchered, and the great use of wire work for the supernatural attacks, and he's slicing them up. And I got a couple of seconds of clip footage for everybody watching here, just a few seconds. But they get down, baby. They throw down. Yeah, they throw down, son. Yeah. And again, I'm watching all of this not expecting an action movie. And I'm like, dude,
the film was already amazing, right? The film was already amazing all the way through, and then you get the cherry on top.
Yeah. There we go. Sophie already is like, I need to watch this ASAP. There you go. I love it. Yeah. Great stuff for sure. And he defeats our boy. The sacred serpent's like, oh, I gotta claim him. Let me take him back down in the water.
that was an amazing scene as well, wasn't it? The way it comes out, it's just this, massive
arms.
Patterns.
Yeah.
The VFX for the whole thing was just so, because it wasn't too much.
Yeah.
And it just felt so off.
Yeah.
So out of place, just so unnatural. It's like you just know whatever was taking him not belonging there. It's not belong on Earth, right? He just comes out and drags him back in. It's like, oh my God,
So good. And Father Ong is saved. I'm kind of surprised he lived. Because usually, this was easily a setup for a pass the torch type of movie, right?
Yeah.
But no, I didn't mind him living. And
no.
And what kind of breaks my heart though is, so you're in the filmmaking business. Maybe you have heard something, but it breaks my heart a little bit because they obviously set up for a sequel. They even say they will return.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything. I don't see anything on IMDb. Have you heard anything?
No.
Did this do poorly?
You know what? I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know how it did. I mean, I was looking, like when I was preparing for this, I was looking online. There was quite a few decent sized interviews that that they were doing in front of great sized crowds. So I mean,
right.
And like obviously, they're the main guys are like mega stars over there. So I've no idea. I've no idea why. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see. It's such a great pairing. The wise, experienced Father Ong and the badass young MMA fighter with Iron Fist powers. I mean, come on, like, let's go. But you never know. I mean, it's 2019. It's only been a couple of years. It's never too late. That's never stopped Hollywood. Let's sequel a movie 30 years later. I mean, that's never. Hopefully they don't wait that long. But who knows? Maybe a couple more years.
Maybe. I mean, it'll be nice to see. I mean, it reminded me of like Constantine, right? The whole sort of like vibe. And I know Constantine is getting close to getting a sequel, and that's been like a, you know, I don't know how many years, a long time, right? So maybe it needs one film in a similar vein to go out there and make a shitload of money, and then people are, oh, let's, you know, make this. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. But, you know, if we don't get a sequel, it's unfortunate, but at least, you know, we have this movie. And you know what? Let's rate this some of a bitch. Let's just for fun. Let's rate the action, and then let's rate the movie. C is average, and you can do plus and minuses. C is average here on the channel. Big Phil, what are you going to give the movie Divine Fury, and what are you going to give the action? What's your rating?
The movie as a whole?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it, well, first of all, what classifies as an A-rated movie? Because, I mean, for me personally, like, it is my kind of film through and through. Yeah. So I would give it an A-.
Okay.
But, like, you know,
what are you going to give the action?
The action I'll probably give. That's a tough one, that is, because the action is great,
right? But there's not a lot of this is sparse. And
then when you see things like The Raid,
right,
or there's a
okay. All right, fuck it. We don't have to rate the action. Let's rate the movie.
The action is great. The action is great.
The finale fight was an A-, you know. Okay. But yeah, it's more horror.
Across the board, you know.
More horror than action. And I'm a same rating for Samurai Guy over here. We're giving it the good old A-. So Horror Fields can't rate it. He hasn't seen it yet, but it looks good. Well, let us know in the comments below, Horror Fields, when you finally get around to watching it. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the Divine Fury. Very well done. Set design, cinematography, editing, pacing, stunt work, the performances, like everything. So well done. The visuals are so well done.
Yeah.
Music too. Yeah, music.
So beautiful. So haunting. You know, it's great.
And it's got that classic, good old fashioned. Hold on, let me find it. Nightmare fuel. Yeah.
Yeah. In spades.
Just watch this scene and then go to sleep right after. See what happens.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
Copy that. But yeah, this was a blast, brother. We finally got around. I'm so sorry I had to keep rescheduling, but
man. Bro,
he's crazy busy. I'm crazy busy, but we made it happen today. And it was an honor to have you here, brother.
No, thank you.
We got to have you back. This is your second home now, son.
Hey, I'm here. Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, mate. I really do. I love talking with film people. It's things. It's nice to geek out.
Yeah, you learn something new every day. You know, love hearing the stories is what the podcast is all about. But all you badasses watching right now, thanks again for hanging out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. Click on the links below and follow Big Phil on the social media. That's right. Continue to follow him on his filmmaking journey. Stay tuned for Lotus. That's right. He's going to kill everyone. So stay tuned for that. All right. Keep watching Dragon Ball. Yeah. Thanks. Keep watching that Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. Keep watching horror films and martial arts movies is what we love. Action films. Keep those strong genres going. You know, that's the theme of this channel. Action, martial arts, and horror, baby. That's how we roll here on the channel. Hold on. We got a couple more comments here. All right. Neenan's following you right now. Hey, thanks for following.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. But yeah, this was a blast. Got to have you back, brother. Philip, don't go anywhere. But all you badasses, tomorrow, that's right, Versus episode, 6 p.m. Pacific time. 2 Cynthia Rothrock classics going head-to-head. We have Yes, Madam versus Righting Wrongs. Which film will come out on top? That's right. You can go to the community page right now and vote. We're going to have some fun hanging out with Rick Myers and a whole bunch of other special guests tomorrow at 6 p.m. And Philip, if you're free, I got to bring you in on one of them verses, man, because it's going to be fun.
Yeah, give me a shout.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll keep you in the loop. I'll keep you in the loop on that one. Yeah. Before we wrap it up, let's flex for our good old buddy Daniel Steeson. Go ahead. Come on, Ro. There you go. Yeah.
Big Dan. Hey, Dan size is like He's the eclipse. He's the guy is something else, isn't he? Amazing.
Dan is 2 of my biceps put together,
bro.
and that's one. That's his like forearm muscle at the bottom. It's not even his bicep. But yeah, Philip, don't go anywhere. But hey, I'll see you guys on the next one, guys. Take care.
Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you.